what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. Like a song of love that
Well, welcome everybody. It is, wow, September 18th, 2025. Almost made it through to the end of summer. Just a few days to go. So here we are at another meeting of the BCUG Computer Graphics Workshop. Okay, but the main thing that I wanted to cover tonight is remembering Fred Kagel, who passed away on, as I recall, was July 25th. Am I right, Judy?
Yeah.
And that's Fred as I like to remember him. Actually, I got this picture from a time when we used to meet at Brookdale. There were a few months where somebody, I don't remember who it was, would make sure she photographed everybody in the club. And then we had a file of all the pictures. I think we had over 200, maybe 300 members at one time.
Yes.
Well, for those of you who don't know Fred Kagel, and if you're from Australia, you still might remember Fred Kagel because he was with us at a number of meetings recently. This is what Fred wrote about himself when I put together a little pamphlet for an art show that we had at a local library. And I'm going to go over that again in a little while. But Fred wrote about himself that he was a professional computer trainer and consultant, an amateur photographer, videographer, and multimedia-ist. Judy, what is a multimedia-ist?
Oh boy, I would have to look that up. That's probably a Fred Kagel word.
Yeah.
But he did everything that I couldn't do. So if I didn't know how to do something, he would figure it out for me.
Yeah.
Come up with it.
So Fred went on to say that he has always been interested in the story of stories behind a picture or video, and to that end has produced oral histories and has designed and maintained websites, slideshows, and web blogs. As a matter of fact, I do remember decades ago, we were interested in how to put together a video of somebody's life story. And we had I think Fred did a presentation about that for the computer club, for the graphics group. Yes. Anyway, I got a few stories to share with you about Fred. The first story is entitled Fred and Kevin. Who is Kevin? Kevin happens to be my sister's son, Kevin Drucker, who is now about 55 and ready to retire. But when Kevin was growing up, he was a difficult kid. And when he was 13, for his bar mitzvah, his parents brought him a computer. We're going back maybe 42 years or so. Who knew anything about computers back then? Fred Kagel. And Kevin became a student in Fred Kagel's professional computer training business. Eventually, Kevin went on to Lehigh University, majored in computer engineering, and eventually got a job with Facebook. And he's still working with Facebook now, earning really big bucks, living in California or somewhere around Silicon Valley. Okay, my next story. We're back in December before 2008, about 6 months or so. And Harvey, you'll remember this. For about 10 years, Andrea Tarr was the head of the group, the graphics workshop. And then things were happening in her life, and she kept canceling meeting after meeting after meeting. Eventually, she said, I'm not doing this anymore. And so we had a few months where we had no computer graphics workshop, right? Harvey, what did we do? Well, I had retired in 2001 from teaching New York City. And after a while, I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to school, but not as a teacher, but as a student. I went to Brookdale Community College for a year and a half, and I got an associate degree in computer graphics. So Fred said, Bill, take over the computer graphics workshop. And he kept saying, Bill, take over the computer graphics workshop. And he continued saying that. And you know what? He eventually convinced me, and I did. And we had a meeting in my basement in December 2008. Fred was there. Harvey, I think you were probably there too.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided we're going to get our group going again. So we had our first meeting where I was the head that January 2009, and I've been doing it ever since. And one of the things that we did was we had an art show at the Monmouth County Library headquarters. Fred made a video out of some pictures that he took, and hopefully I'm going to be able to bring them up to share with you. We're talking about 2010, the art show. This was made by the library, by their graphics people. The graphics workshop of BCUG, the Brookdale Computer Users Group, photography exhibit. We're talking the month of March 2010. And you might know some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
There's Fred. Who knows this young lady? She's out in Arizona now. Harvey, remember Ellie?
Ellie, yeah.
Yeah, Ellie
I
Cohn.
know, and I know Andrea next to her.
Yeah, Andrew's the one who.
And there's some guy there with a white head. I think I know him.
Oh yeah,
him
that's
also.
me. Wow.
He
And
doesn't
this
look
guy
any
in the
older.
back, Joe Zuchik. Joe Zuchik, who, by the way, is from Croatia, a beautiful place to be. But he's one of my neighbors. But that's our exhibit. And in the back wall over here, I've got some of my 3D anaglyphs. There's one of King Tut. And hanging on each frame, there's a set of red cyan 3D glasses. So you're able to put them on and see the 3D effect. That's pretty neat. And there's Fred doing what a videographer would do, interviewing here Joe Zuchik, standing in front of some of Joe's photography. Joe's a professional photographer. Fortunately, he hasn't been too well in the last few years.
By trade, I'm an interior designer, and I do a lot of interior.
There's Fred at work, doing his videography. Before, let's see, what is the, oh yeah, we had a special event of the artists and some guests over at TGIF to celebrate our adventure at the library. Then what else do we have? The Trenton Computer Festival. Trenton Computer Festival is, I think it's still going on. They do it once a year over at Trenton State College or New Jersey State College. I don't know what it's called now. But this was a major computer event that lasted 2 days, and they had all kinds of people come and do really great presentations. And for a few years, I was one of those people. And I had put together a presentation that's posted on YouTube now, but I had done it for our computer graphics group and some other places, all about anamorphic art. And it's posted on YouTube, and there's the website. So I'll try to remember to send this out to everybody, this whole thing with all my connections. And this is something that goes back to Leonardo da Vinci. Really interesting. I think something like 18,000 people have seen it so far. You could be one of them. Then on November 11th in the year 2013, we had a group of members of the computer club and the graphics group who were interested in science. And over at Princeton University, they often had free science lectures. And one of them was given by Lisa Randall. Lisa Randall is a famous particle physicist. And at the time, the big excitement was all about the Higgs boson and the Higgs field. And she wrote a book called Knocking on Heaven's Door, which is still available at Amazon. And it's about the recently discovered Higgs boson and others, particles and things going on in the world of physics. In case you're wondering what a boson is a force carrier that enables particles other than bosons to interact and feel electrical, magnetic, all kinds of nuclear forces, strong force, weak force, whatever. So there is this thing called a Higgs boson, and it's an elementary particle, the quantum excitation of the Higgs field, which actually gives mass to other fundamental particles like electrons and quarks. Quarks are components of protons and neutrons, 3 quarks per proton, 3 quarks per neutron. And these are the things, along with the electrons, that make up atoms, which make up molecules, and molecules make up us and everything else around us that's made out of matter. Anyway, here's the cover of the book, New York Times bestseller. Again, you can still get it in the library and Amazon if you want your own copy. Knocking on Heaven's Door with a new preface on the Higgs discovery. This was one of the 100 notable books as selected by the New York Times Book Review in 2011. It's about how physics and scientific thinking illuminate the universe and the modern world. And on the cover, Bill Clinton thinks that this just might make you think differently. After the meeting, the Higgs gang got together with, well, we got all these people from our Higgs gang and one special guest here. Does anybody know who these people are? Sandy Numa? Oh, it's Sandy Numa.
Yeah.
Here's a list. By the way, this is from Fred Kagel's video of the event. This goes back quite a few years, so you might not know Charlie Byrne and his wife, Mary Byrne. Mary was the web specialist who maintained our club's website. And Charlie Byrne worked for, I think he worked for NASA. I know he was involved in publishing a 3D book about the exploration of the moon. This guy back here, he's an Indian guy, but lived in Canada for a while, a physicist, and he joined our computer club. This guy over here eventually became president. John, you know him. Howie Goldberg, you know this guy back there?
He looks younger.
Yeah. And that's me holding the book. And the book I actually had to run to the library before we got to this meeting. I ran to the library by us and borrowed her book. They had it in, and I actually got her to sign the library's book. I wish I had my own copy. Okay, and there's Fred.
Yes, you're in it now. You put it on the beach? Yes. Our dad is here together.
And there's Fred Kagel.
And, thanks for the sisters. Really good luck.
That's Lisa Randall. And there's Lisa signing my copy of the book, the library's copy of the book. By the way, I got these red marks on here. I'm not sure how they got there. They shouldn't be there. John, any idea how to get rid of that?
You clicked on annotate in Zoom and
Uh-huh.
moved your cursor, and that put the marks. Apparently, annotate has been turned off in Zoom, and you'd have to be able to go back and erase them. I don't think they're causing a problem, so I'm just ignoring them myself.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll come back to Harvey.
I keep reaching over here to the screen and trying to find out if they're mine.
Let's see.
Okay, by the way, that whole video, I didn't want to show the whole thing, but you got an idea. Fred made that. Fred loved to make slideshow videos, as did I and Harvey and Howie Goldberg and others in our graphics group back then. Harvey, remember the name of the software we used? It was by Photodex,
For the producer? There's
Pro Show Gold, and then Producer.
Yes.
Yeah. Continuing, Fred, when my computer over the years gave me trouble and I had nowhere else to turn, I had two computer gurus that I always was able to bring my computer to, or if my kids had a problem with their computer, it was either Sandy Rand or Harvey Kagel. So thank you again, Harvey, for that. And then the last big thing that we did that I remember with Fred was Fred's ability to bring people together. He said, "Well, you know, we haven't seen a lot of members because of the pandemic. Let's get together at Bell Labs." And we had a fantastic turnout. Harvey, were you there?
I was trying to think of that. I'm not sure.
I think that was probably about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I had pictures that I had
It
taken.
was last January.
Last
Yeah.
January. I don't know what happened to the pictures. John tried to find them. He found a link to a video about it. I know that Judy Kagel.
I was taking pictures, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll look and see if I have some.
Okay,
I took
that'd
some
be great.
videos. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a very successful evening. It was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of people that we hadn't seen in a long time. So over the years, Fred has had a major impact on the functioning of the computer club. In addition to running the Excel workshop, I think for a while he did some presentations for the multimedia workshop, which Steve Miller used to run. He was always an active member of BCUG graphics group and did a number of presentations for us there. As a matter of fact, from that first meeting when I took over back in January 2009, it was at the Scan Center where Andrea Tarr worked. And I introduced the latest demos in Pro Show Gold 4 and Producer 4. And Fred Kagel demonstrated Picasa and how to use it to get rid of red eye in one's photograph. And then a few months later, Fred came up with how to do collages, which was one of the features in Picasa. How many of you remember this picture? There's a lineup of BCUG presidents. This guy you should know, John. Fred Berg was, I think he was married to Andrea Tarr. I know they lived together in the same house. Sandy Rand was president for a long time and then came back to be president again. John Corbett was president, as I recall. This guy I did not know. Ruth and Cass Lewert. Haven't seen them in ages. I hope that they're okay. And very handsome young Fred and Stu Haber. Don't know anything about him. So Judy, was Fred president?
Was he what?
Was he ever president of the computer club? I would think
Yes.
so, since he's in the picture, but
I,
not while I was a member.
He was president
it was
once.
president.
Yeah, okay, that's why he's in the picture. I've been a member of the club since I turned 50, and that's 30 years ago.
Oh. Now, is there a time limit that you would set for a person becoming president, or you just?
No, no. Fred
Just
was
do
not
it.
president for very long, is what I recall.
Well, I know he did it for at least a year.
Yes, I think that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, and before this meeting started, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the meeting started, I checked my email because I thought that John was going to send me some pictures from that Bell Lab adventure, which he said he sent, but I didn't get them. Maybe they're in my email now, but so far, up to when the meeting started, I didn't get them. But I got this from Michelle Kagel.
Oh,
And Michelle wrote to me about a very nice way to honor the memory of her dad, Fred Kagel. And she wrote, on September 20th, I will be walking in memory of my father, Fred Kagel, at the American Lung Association's Lung Force Walk in Bridgewater, New Jersey. He passed away suddenly in July 2025 after complications from a lung condition that was likely tied to his heart issues. Because I have many memories of my father jogging, hiking, and walking for enjoyment and health, I became inspired to celebrate his life by walking for a good cause. So, Judy, I assume you know about this.
I do.
So, what do the American Lung Association people do? What is their main aim?
I mean, I think it's probably just to keep active by doing different type of sports according to, what your abilities are. I mean, like walking or playing, I don't know, pickleball. But I mean, just keeping active. And
Right.
Fred did a lot of that. And we used to go over to Turkey Swamp Park a lot and walk there.
When you're walking at Turkey Swamp Park, watch out for the grass. It's all full of goose droppings.
Ooh.
Right.
All right. Luckily, we didn't get into any of that.
Okay. So Michelle gave further information, including how to donate and if you want to go to the walk. So I'll send that out. And we wish the Kagels good luck with that. And thank you for sharing Fred with us all
Thank
these
you.
years.
Thank you for talking about him at your meeting and remembering him. Means a lot to me. And if you ever have a beginning course for computers, which is probably boring to all of you, but I could sure use it because I'm always beginning. I learn something and then I have to relearn it. So if you ever get together and do something for people who are just learning, I would be interested.
Just learning about computer graphics or computers in general?
I think computer just general right now. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I use computers because I have some books that I publish but that's just running off the books and I know how to work on my music pages. That's fine. But I have difficulty just with Zoom, with anything that is a little different that I have to figure out. I get frustrated. So
I
think
do
I would be
too, as you might have noticed, trying to run this meeting. Yeah, computers is not for the faint of heart. I can vouch for that.
But I think they're necessary. See, I think they
Oh,
serve a
yeah.
good purpose. So once I get past that, and I know John was very helpful for me because I think you gave me some ideas for taking notes and having them on one page, right, John?
Yeah,
He came over and he helped spend a long time. So that was very useful to me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Well, when I first started getting interested in computer, my car would drive me to the computer club. Now my car is a computer. I have an electric
They
car,
are.
and
Yeah.
it's a computer on wheels. It's amazing.
It is.
Okay, now we're shifting focus now, talk a little bit about some great improvements in artificial intelligence as it's related to computer generated video.
and forevermore. That's how you stay.